What's happening? We're back because the UFC is back, and I am back from fucking traveling across the United States.
Fucking Gulliver
of
over
America.
here.
Yeah, I am Gulliver.
Isn't it Gulliver? World Travels or some shit?
Yeah, man.
I'm about the most non-red person you'll ever meet.
Anyway,
no, for real, he did. He rented a moped, and him and his old lady went from here all the way to San Francisco.
We really did. I mean,
Kevin's looking for a date.
I actually drove 4,000 fucking miles, dude.
Wow.
The rent-a-car company
Wyoming.
Dude, the rent-a-car company must have been pissed.
I bust that shit up, dude.
Did you tell them what you were doing?
Yeah, I said them. They said,
where'd you get it from? Enterprise?
Budget.
Shocker.
Budget anyway, take your asses over to uncutsports.com.
Yeah, why not?
If you guys haven't had the chance to check out The Uncut Truth.
It's terrible.
It's just good.
Terrible.
This shit is really good.
Terrible.
And if you hadn't had a chance, find that shit on iTunes.
It's there, too.
Yes,
it's
and my
shit,
shit, the Kevin White Show, is on iTunes, too. Find that.
Shit's funny.
With my lovely co-host, Sky. Now.
McGillicuddy. That's her last name.
Shoutouts, Max Langley. Also, this gentleman said... What? All right. Max.
Don will be back in the house here soon, probably.
The next shout out is that everybody's laughing. Even the guy who sent me this shout out laughed at me. He goes, Kevin, I want you to wish me a happy birthday and see if you can pronounce my name right. He was getting a kick out of me trying to pronounce. I'm going to see if I can do it.
Was there an annotation that said, don't let George anywhere near this?
No, he was just like, I know George's. He's actually brought you up too, obviously. Ahmad Aboheda.
Oh, that may actually be right.
Ahmad Aboheda.
Man, that shit looks like
Aboheda.
Yeah. That shit looks like Abogoogie.
That's whatever it is. If I'm right, Ahmad, you got to let me know. But anyway, most importantly, happy birthday to you. Now, let's move on to the very... Would you guys say eventful or uneventful, or what would you call UFC 148?
Eventful shit that happened at UFC 148 is your buddy came over and did not shut the fuck up.
I had a buddy, high school friend of mine, come over, and he made it quite eventful.
Yes, and Don, like I said when you were here, please come back anytime.
Yeah.
To be 100% honest, now that I look back at this, I didn't miss a whole lot.
It provided a lot of entertainment for a
There were two really
bad
strange
card.
ending fights.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Well, it started with hometown boy Mike Easton, the Incredible Hawk, went on against.
Well, he didn't get angry. Because let me tell you, the only thing that was getting angry was me during this fight. Because that shit was boring.
Didn't turn green.
No.
And you know what? You're still a hometown boy, and I would still like to meet you. Because I think that would be an entertaining interview.
It would be an entertaining interview. I think I
have to get him a step stool, but
yeah, but it would be an entertaining. Well, there goes that interview.
What?
There goes that interview. But Mike Easton ended up getting a unanimous decision. That moved us on to a featherweight bout between Chad Mendes and Cody Mackenzie. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Go ahead.
No, ladies first.
Ladies first. Okay, I'll be the bitch.
Oh.
Yeah. Only for Jimmy.
No, I'm good. Go ahead, Kevin.
All right. I guess I've been chosen. Anyway, Cody Mackenzie. He looked like he was straight from some of the territory that I visited over my long trip.
Oh, I can imagine.
I would believe that. Country. Missing a chromosome or two?
Cody, that was Jimmy.
Well, the thing that killed me is they led up to this fight and showed you this new version of a guillotine, and they called it the Cody-tine or whatever.
The Mackenzie something?
Yeah, the Mackenzie whatever. Because he goes against all these wrestlers. Well, they should have taught him how to cover up his body because Chad Mendes hit that mug in the liver. And he put him down, and then that shit was over.
And there was no fucking getting up, man.
Nope. No. And Chad Mendes looks to be about as wide as he is tall.
He's like built like a little Uriah Faber, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he trains out of Alpha.
Yeah, they are
or at least
clones
used
of each other.
Yeah, they really are. But that was a nasty body shot, and Cody Mackenzie was like, I am not.
Well, in his body, he's awful thin. He can't take those kind of shots.
Yeah. Now, when I think of Cody Mackenzie, I think of Cody.
Can we talk about what happened to y'all's boy?
Oh man,
because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who didn't pick him.
That shit went limp.
Yeah,
that's what somebody said on Twitter.
Yeah,
yeah,
it did. The dong. You know, Jimmy and I
picked the dong.
We're really behind. We were the two.
They were championing the dong.
Yes,
we were the two testicles that were sitting beside the dong.
Exactly.
You know, and we were definitely the two balls. And George said, I'm not going to go with the dog.
Nope.
Yeah.
I went with Damian Maia. And sure enough, Damian Maia won, and his English is getting better, and he looked good.
Yes.
And that was his first time cutting down to 170.
He did make the dong go limp. It was
bizarre.
It was bizarre.
Awkward fall and
yeah.
Kind of his neck hit the side of the cage, and all the weight went down on his rib, and it was crazy. But anyway, uneventful because it wasn't a long fight. You know,
yeah, the Dong will be back.
He will be back, and he'll come back strong and hard.
Definitely.
Viagra and Cialis win this quarter once again.
Okay.
Looking for the time.
Now on to the movie star.
Cung Le.
Dude, did anyone catch that dude's mane on that fucking on his little ring poster thingy?
Yeah,
I caught that
Great
shit because
find.
literally there was. If you notice when Cung Le was coming out to fight, in the background there was a poster with him with long hair. We all know Cung Le doesn't have long hair, and it wasn't Cung Le's hair. I mean, Cung Le cuts his hair tight, but this shit made him look exactly like what George calls him. And what is that, George?
He looks like a treasure troll.
A treasure
Seriously,
troll.
James, if you got a picture of a treasure troll, I'm talking about those little itty bitty things with the hair, the orange,
like
green.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm one.
about the same height as Cung Le.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Like, why is Cung Le still fighting? Hasn't he made enough money off of that
Because
shit?
he's still winning.
No, because let me tell you, his movies go straight to DVD, and nobody buys DVDs anymore.
I'm going to tell you
all
what.
his residuals off of being the treasure troll. He's got to be suing the shit out of them for copyright infringement because he looks just like them.
That's
They're
true.
using his likeness.
I'm going to tell you what, guys. The first thing I noticed is not just Cung Le and Patrick Cote both looked out of shape.
Oh yeah,
No, they were in shape. It's called round.
And Cung Le ultimately got the decision. He got the unanimous decision. He won on all three Georgia's scorecards, 30-27. But that's going to roll me right over into, speaking of out of shape, was the Forrest Griffin Tito Ortiz.
Oh.
That shit was
trilogy.
right up y'all's alley.
It was a slugfest, but let me tell you, it was a.
Man, there wasn't
sloppy.
one slug thrown in that entire fucking match.
Well, what was so sloppy? I mean, Tito.
Flailing. There was numerous times Forrest Griffin's flailing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's completely flailing. Tito's standing there like he's just watching something.
Right.
He doesn't even throw punch. I mean, I don't know. It was bizarre.
Tito lands those two shots that put Forrest on the canvas. I mean, hurts him temporarily. I don't know what you call it. But other than that, Forrest Griffin was a lot more, as the brothers would say, in the inner city. Accurate.
Now,
and he landed.
Well, and the thing is the what got more bizarre was the ending of the match.
Yeah. Forrest Griffin runs away, comes back, grabs the mic. But what I want to speak to is
Forrest run. He's taking that on.
I feel bad for the first-time MMA fan who tunes this in and has heard so much about Tito Ortiz to see that. Because, honestly, that performance right there does not help his legacy. That is not the Tito Ortiz that got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I honestly feel bad for Tito Ortiz to go out on that note. He just didn't look good.
I mean, I think rarely do guys in any sport, MMA, football, basketball, I mean, a lot of guys, they hang on for that, those last moments of glory, and usually they're not moments of glory.
My favorite athlete went out on top.
Barry Sanders?
Rarely do guys go out on top.
Thurman Thomas
that's
went
a
out on
rarity.
top. He didn't start bouncing around on other teams. I'm just thinking of other players.
Let's think of an MMA fighter that's going out on top. Actually, if Anderson Silva retires now.
If he retired.
Well, that'd be a good segue into let's talk about the main event.
Yeah, dude, I don't think.
Well, that was
a lot of
crickets were in here.
There'll be somebody. I know you guys out there will be like, "Oh, you guys can't appreciate this." Well, you know what? We can't. Okay,
Right? Because
I mean, have a problem doing it.
Randy Couture did not go out on top. He went straight to the dentist after he got his tooth kicked out. Mark Coleman sadly is still fighting. Dan Severn's still fighting.
At least. Randy Couture might not have gone out at the pinnacle of the mountain, but at least he did go out
right out into
when
a
he was
career.
When he was still respectable. It's these guys that just hang on way too long.
Fighters,
too. I have no problem with Randy Couture. It's the other guys that you were mentioning.
You're trying to say Forrest Griffin ain't respectable?
He is respectable because he's a former UFC champion.
Oh God, that pisses me off so much.
Yeah,
somebody got like that shit. To me, you want to talk about a paper title? That man, first off, he caught Shogun on an off night. Yes, he beat Shogun, and yes, he has the belt, so he can go down as 205 champ. But let's all be serious.
He caught Rampage on an off night too, though. But catching two of those guys who are
just coming over from Pride, just getting used to the changes of drug use.
Yeah, you got a point.
That's my only point because let's face it, when the Pride guys first came over, just like we didn't see a whole rash of them get busted.
A change of what we would term environmental factors. We don't know if they were necessarily on drugs.
Well, okay, that's a nice way to put it. But your environmental factors are really fucking up the Strikeforce fighters. They can't stay off the pot. They can't stay off the roids. But the Pride fighters came over. King Mo, he got signed to TNA. He's fucking wrestling and fighting in Bellator as soon as his suspension's up. You tell me, how's King Mo doing? Now,
let's talk about this main event, everybody.
Beautiful.
For all you Chael Sonnen fans, you guys were disappointed.
They were happy at the end of round 1.
Yeah, because he did. But I said that. I said I thought that's what was going to happen. And
That's
he was
what
going
had to happen.
Yeah, he had to bull rush fucking Anderson Silva, take him to the ground like he said he was going to do.
And
put his head in his chest, and he did it, and he did a fucking great job at it.
Now, my only problem with Chael Sonnen in the first round, or Sonnen, however the fuck you say your name, because I guess it is Sonnen.
Sonnen.
He gets the full mount with close to a minute left to go, and not once does he posture up. He's got Anderson's legs hooked. And not once did he push off his chest, try to create any distance, and land any power punches. He just stayed there and just...
And he had him pretty close to the cage, too.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson had nowhere to go, and you had a minute to do damage.
Yeah.
If he lands an elbow from there, I mean, you have all the leverage. Anderson really can't do much. He can't plant his feet and bust up his hips or pop his hips to try to get him off.
Chael Sonnen, he's a great fighter, but there's a reason he has a lot of losses on his record is because he's very one-dimensional, and it's mixed martial arts,
right?
And the thing is when you watch the fight, remember at the end of the first round I was saying I kind of thought it would go this way, and I was pulling for Anderson Silva. I'm not going to sit there in front like I wasn't, but it's like as soon as there was any distance created between those two, it was maybe 10 seconds, 12 seconds, and all of a sudden you could just see the difference in the fighters. Like, it's like, okay, he can knock him out anytime. You almost saw Chael Sonnen going, oh shit, and trying to reach in and grab him again.
Right.
What do you think, Jimmy? You were pulling for Chael.
Yeah, I mean, his game plan had to be to be as close as he possibly could and not allow any separation. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the first 5 seconds of the fight, there was a couple punches thrown and immediately grabbed on and took it down. Second round, he wasn't, able to do that at first.
Right.
But he was still holding on.
Right.
To me, and this is the part that I will never know the answer to it, is did he get a little, overzealous there and throw that spinning back fist? Because me personally, I don't think that was a part of his game plan, and to me, that's what cost him the fight. It was the spinning back fist, the slip, and then if he's not in that position, I'm not saying that he would have won the fight or not, but at that point in time, I don't think he was going to lose the fight.
Right.
At that moment.
At that moment.
And so to me, that was the big. I don't want to call it a mistake because that happens. I mean, that's just part of the fight. But to me, it would be a mistake if that was not part of the game plan and it's him basically venturing outside of that.
Let's ask you the question. Do you think that was part of his game plan? Do you think at some point, he's like, you know what, I watched tape and I really think I'm going to hit Anderson Silva with a back-spinning elbow or fist? There's no fucking way that anyone in his camp said, you should really pull this move off, Chael. You're really good.
He might not expect it. Because the first time he fought Silva, he caught him. And that's what gave him a huge advantage. He caught him. I don't care. I'll argue with anybody. I think that first time he caught Silva, it rocked Silva. Silva was not expecting it. But Silva was very prepared for that spinning back fist. He telegraphed it. He was down here when the fist was coming around here. And it was a bad miss.
And the other thing is, to me, that makes me think that it wasn't a part of his game plan was just the execution of it. It was poorly executed.
Yeah,
I mean, if you have been practicing it, even if you don't hit the guy, it should be crisper.
Right.
And truly, it was so sloppy that to me, that's what ended up costing him. He basically falls in a bad spot because it's not like he could really scamper away or get away and get up or anything. He's right there against the cage, catches that knee, and then it's basically all she wrote.
Well, this is the thing I look at before that happened. The first round he came at Silva and he grabbed him fast, like within probably 6 or 7 seconds.
Five
seconds
was the first
5 seconds. The second round, that did not happen. He got tagged lightly, nothing crazy. But this is the thing I think none of us realize is how fucking accurate Anderson Silva is and how much power he can deliver with that accuracy. Like, it doesn't look like he's hitting you that fucking hard. But you saw what he did with Forrest Griffin. You've seen what he's done with so many other opponents over the years. And it's like, all of a sudden, you're seeing him backing up and still be able to create that distance. And everybody knows that Anderson Silva, you give him about 20, 25 seconds, especially someone like Chael Sonnen, who's not a striker, to measure you up, and now all of a sudden he's going to tag you. He's going to throw an elbow. He's going to get him.
You could see in the second round, Anderson Silva used Chael Sonnen's aggression against him.
Yep.
Anderson puts his hands down at his side, which he does with a lot of fighters. And when Kevin likes to go, when Anderson does this shit, something's fucked up's going to happen. Something really bad's going to happen when Anderson puts his hands at his side. because he knows he's doing that to make you attack him.
Yeah.
Because there's not anyone here at this table who thinks, if I'm getting ready to fight you and you put your hands down at your side, oh, I think I can hit you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Anderson goes, no, you can't.
Right.
And
Well,
he couldn't.
and
And he put his hands down at his side, and then fucking Chael went like a bull through seeing red and just came charging at him. And the next thing you know is Anderson goes, "Beep,"
Yeah, and
and it was done.
Yeah.
When he put his hands down at his side, I was like, Chael should have taken like a step back and tried to compose himself.
But I think if you're taking a step back, and that's what I mean, like at that point in time, it's almost like Chael's like, shit, I have to get him.
He was in a tough
another
spot.
thing was in the second round, in all the previous fights, and especially in the first round, if Chael got his hands on him, he was going down.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right.
He's obviously much stronger than
He got
Anderson
his
Silva.
hands on him in the second round, but he was not able. He
Couldn't get him down.
He couldn't. He didn't get him down the first time.
Right.
And that to me that was a big turning point, because for whatever reason Silva did something right, because before anytime he got his hands on him, he was going down.
Right.
So once he stepped out of that, then that created, it's the whole timing thing that
Yeah.
bought him that extra minute or thing on his feet, because the longer he could stay on his feet, that fight's not going to last very
Yeah.
long.
It's I'm thinking as you're talking, I'm thinking about something like scenarios are going through my head, and you really think about like as you're saying that, Jimmy, I'm thinking, you know what? It's like Chael Sonnen kept saying, "I'm going to put my chest, my head in your chest," and he has to literally come in like that to get you. I mean, obviously he got him down because Anderson Silva created openings when he threw his hands, and so he could wrap him and take him down. But it's like when he does that, he thinks, I have to do this and take a chance of getting a knee or taking something to get him down once he's created distance, or I've got to stand up. And he chose to say, fuck it, and stand up for a second and then pull that crazy spinning back fist. And that was it. Anderson Silva is so
disrespectful. He's just a disrespectful fighter.
I know.
He's
Where
quite
do
possibly. I don't know where.
I
it
don't
comes
know
from.
where people say that Anderson
get
Silva's disrespectful. When they say that, it's bizarre to me.
He bows at his opponent's feet as a show of respect. So he puts his hand. Here's the thing: if putting my hands down at my side shows disrespect, no, it's part of my fighting tactic.
Yeah,
it's
it's
no
part of
different-
his game plan.
It's no
Yeah.
different than the Diaz talking shit or somebody fainting. It's just no different. It's just a different way to get you to do something that I want you to do.
Right.
Then I can counter. So
I mean, you see,
I don't get it.
Yeah, you got to look at really how Anderson Silva conducts himself after the fight, and you see it.
And look what he did with Chael.
Yeah.
He went across the ring, brought Chael over, said, "You want to come to a barbecue at my house?"
Yeah,
This
is a motherfucker that said shit about his wife. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
There's
probably
nothing. There's honestly, Chael cannot say anything.
No.
Now we know he will, and that's his track record, and that's his MO. And I don't know who he's going to try to go to, try to talk. Where does he go? Who does he try to? I mean, what? I don't. Where does he go?
I would love to see him fight Dan Henderson. They're
Really?
both. I would like it. And they're both great fucking wrestlers.
Out of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, out of the Pacific.
Well, they were on the same team for a while.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I would love to see it. Like if Henderson,
Well, that's a
obviously-
good question. Does Chael now go to 205 and try to resurrect his shit talking career and immediately go up there and start bad mouthing someone?
I know.
Because let's face it, the only reason he's even here is because he ran his fucking mouth. It's not because he's talented.
Yeah.
Now he's talented as a wrestler and as a takedown guy, and I'm not
But
saying
he just
he's great,
quickly
but-
became the new Rich Franklin.
yeah,
you
for
know.
185.
I mean,
Right.
and I honestly, at 35 years old, Anderson's 37 and stuff like this, there will be some good middleweights within the next 24 months that come up, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. To the point where, Sonnen might not be able to even hold that
I
want to
see the Chael Sonnen versus Mark Munoz fight. That's the fight I wanted to see before Mark Munoz had the
Yeah.
shit taken out of his elbow. I want to see that fight because Chael Sonnen will not be able to out-wrestle or take down Mark Munoz. That's what I believe. And I would love to see Munoz knock that motherfucker O-U-T.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that.
I still don't like
the
Sonnen.
question is what's next for Sonnen? What's next for Silva? Because there's a lot of things. I mean, Anderson Silva, I mean, at this point in time, if I was him, I would probably retire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't retire.
Because then you could end up being like a Fedor or Chuck Liddell and stuff like this. Because eventually someone will come along that's good and
somebody will
younger.
beat him.
You can beat them. Someone will figure him out. Someone's just sitting back, looking and watching and saying,
Right.
okay, this is how you beat him. And Chael Sonnen has given you a fucking blueprint to it to some degree. Now, if you get somebody that can wrestle as good as Chael Sonnen and is a striker, then you got a good chance of beating
Yeah,
him.
but Anderson
Right.
Silva's not just a striker. He
He
is
is
the
the
best
most
striker
accurate
ever in the
probably
history
ever
of the
in the
UFC.
sport.